What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Life After Lockup Season 5, Episode 21, Games of Chance. Let's get started with Michael and Justine. Michael and Justine are coming from a doctor's appointment, and supposedly they got really devastating news about the baby or the pregnancy. And so we're all wondering, I knew for sure that it was just an over dramatization just to create a very dramatic scene. I'm pretty sure that everything was going to be all right. But of course, the show has to make it more than what it is. So supposedly they got bad news from the doctor, and they're worried about telling their family what this bad news is. So when they get to the house, they gather everybody into the living room, and they tell the kids and the mother-in-laws that the baby's a little bit on the big side. And because of Justine's small frame, the baby has no more room to grow, and they're worried about the possibility of her uterus rupturing because she's had previous C-sections, and I guess along the incision, if the baby continues to grow, her uterus could come apart or rupture or whatever. So that was the devastating news. And so the baby could come any day now. So they all have to be prepared. Now they go from that to talking about death. I don't know how we got on the subject of Justine possibly dying, but here we are. They're talking about, I don't know, maybe they were talking about the risk of her dying during the operation. I have no idea why they were causing all of this panic, because her oldest daughter, Kylie, started crying. And so she's crying, and Michael has to hold her. And, Kylie says, I don't like it when you talk about the possibility of you dying. And I'm just like, this is Life After Lockup. This is not, the Young and the Restless, General Hospital, One Life to Live. This is just Life After Lockup. Let's kind of, calm down on the dramatics. So moving on from there, I guess it's the next day or something. I don't know. Justine is not feeling well. She's laid out on the couch. She's in pain. They ask her, have you felt the baby move? She's like, not really, or only twice today. And so her mother-in-law, Maria, is really worried. So the mother-in-law is sitting next to her, and she's holding her and rubbing her back. And Justine has her head on her shoulder, and she's crying. And Maria's trying to comfort her and mother her. And it's really funny to me because because Maria doubts that this baby could possibly be Michael's baby. She's running this narrative that Justine cheated on her son, and this child might not even be his. But here she is comforting her and, being all loving and motherly on Justine, when the whole time she probably has that DNA test in her back pocket, ready to swab that baby as soon as that baby comes out. So it was just really crazy to me. So Maria tells them, well, if you're in pain and you're not feeling comfortable, you should go to the damn hospital. So they go to the hospital. They make the decision that the baby's going to be delivered that day by C-section. And sure enough, she does give birth, and welcome to the world, Manhatten Barbie. Manhatten Barbie. Wow. She must watch a lot of Trisha Paytas. So the baby looks just like Justine. The baby's absolutely adorable, but she's named Manhatten Barbie. After that, they come home, they introduce the baby to everybody, and you can see Mike's mom, Maria. She's looking at that baby hard. She's trying to find any type of, similar characteristics of her son in that baby. So when Mike's mom and Mike have a chance to be alone, they go outside to talk, and Maria asks her son, have you talked to Justine about Melody and I moving to Las Vegas? And I'm thinking to myself, when did it become Melody and Maria? I thought it was just Melody, Mike's oldest daughter, that wanted to move to them. I hadn't moved with them. I had no idea that Maria wanted to come along too. Why would Maria want to come to Las Vegas and live with them? And why on God's green earth would Justine even allow something like that to happen? The woman who doubts that this baby is even her son's, now she wants to move with them to Las Vegas? Like, are you crazy? So Mike tells his mom, it's been a lot with her having the baby and blah, 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 and packing and moving and the C-section and all of this. I haven't had a chance to talk to her about it. And then his mother brings up, well, I also want to, she's like, don't get mad, but, have you talked to her about the DNA test? And Mike was like, are you kidding me? You want to move with us to Las Vegas? And you think that's going to happen after you tell her that you want to take a DNA, you want us to do a DNA test on the baby? So the mom is absolutely, not altogether there. So Mike tells his mother, just throw that damn test away. Then we see her sneaking back into the house while Justina's taking a nap and she's got the DNA test in her hand. I'm pretty sure she's going to end up throwing that box away because she doesn't want to piss off her son too damn much, especially if she wants to move to Las Vegas with them. That's just like crazy that she's even thinking about moving with them. I hope she doesn't consider, or she's not thinking about moving with them in the same damn house, because that's just too much. All them kids plus the mother-in-law, that's just too much. No, absolutely not. So Maria tells us that at this point it's not about trust. She just wants to know if the baby is Mike's 100%. Well, then it is about trust, because you don't trust your daughter-in-law. That's why you want to test the baby. Like, what are you talking about? It's not about trust. Do people even hear themselves when they talk and say these bizarre things? Moving on to Chance and Taylor. So we're still on that same night when Taylor made the decision to break up with Chance, and he came home and they wouldn't let him inside the house. So he took her laptop, he threw it across the yard, and then he came back right again. That same night, he comes right back and he tries to grovel back to Taylor. And Taylor stands her ground and she's like, no, I don't think, this is going to work out between me and you because you've hurt me too much. You've broken my trust. Every time, I try to come back to you, you do something else to hurt me. And I just don't trust that you can, take care of me. And so Chance says that he's going to fight for their relationship. Moving on from there. It's the next day or whatever day it is. Taylor's outside in the front yard with her daughters and they're doing some arts and craft activity. And she tells all three of her daughters that her and Chance broke up. Now, the two younger ones, they're kind of like, they understand what's going on, but they like Chance, right? The older daughter does not like Chance. And so she was like, good, because he was rude. So the kids talk about how they would hear them fighting. One of the little girls says something about, did he go back to his boyfriend or something like that? So they've heard all the stuff that they were arguing about. These kids have heard it all, because we know that Taylor thinks that Chance is like having an affair or messing around with some man, according to the text messages that she had seen in his phone. So while they're out there, here comes Chance. He comes creeping down the road in but in a used white Cadillac Escalade. So he rolls down the window and Taylor's like, what are you doing here? And he was like, well, I came to see y'all or whatever. And she's like, well, where did you get this car from? And he's like, this car's for you. So he says he's not trying to buy back her love, but he got her this Cadillac Escalade. He traded in his truck for this car. So he says that he's the best thing that's ever going to happen to Taylor and her kids. And I'm thinking, if that's true, then Taylor, I really feel sorry for you, because life is looking pretty grim for you if this is the best thing that's going to happen to you. So Chance tells her that he wants to be able to have a chance to talk to her. And she says, yes, we can talk, but just not in front of the girls. We can talk later. So this makes Chance feel good, because he thinks he has a fighting chance to get back with her. But someone in my comments had said that in real life, they're actually still broken up. So I just pray to God that Taylor sticks to her guns and does not give him another chance, because a guy like Chance will never, ever, 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 ever change. This is how he will always be. He will never change. And I'm just really glad that up to now, Taylor is still staying strong and not allowing herself to get weak and to take him back. Moving on from there, we have Blaine and Lindsay. So Lindsay is on the phone. She's still at the bridal shop. Thank God she's taken off that dress. But she calls her parole officer calls her because she had left a message. And she tells her parole officer that her boyfriend, or her fiance now, Blaine, had gotten a medical marijuana card. And how would that affect them living together, getting married, and her parole? And her parole officer tells her, no, that's not a good idea. That's a very bad idea. He's going to have to move out. You cannot live with someone who has a medical marijuana card, because the federal government does not recognize marijuana as a legal substance. So that's absolutely unacceptable. You cannot do it. So, here she is, right? She comes home. Blaine comes home soon after her, and he rolls up with a $800 used four-wheeler in the back of his truck. And so she's like, what the hell is this? And he says he got it for his son, and it cost him $800. Obviously, Lindsay's really upset about it because they're broke, they're on a budget, they're barely making it. And, she's collecting pennies to pay for this damn wedding. Plus, she has to pay the attorney for this 40-year sentence that she's facing. So she's like, are you nuts? Like, how can you spend $800 on that? And he's like, well, you get to spend whatever you want on your daughter. Why can't I spend whatever I want on my son? So then this really gets them going. So now they start arguing, and they talk about Blaine talking behind her back to her daughter, her mom, and so forth. So he tells her, I do that because I can't talk to you, because he's scared. He can't tell her how he really feels about anything because he's scared of her, because Lindsay will fly off the handle. So she's like, I don't care what it is that you feel about me or what you have to say about me. If you have a problem with me, you need to come and talk to me about it. Do not go to my daughter. Do not go to my mom. If you have an issue with me, you come and you talk to me. So then Blaine says, okay, yeah, you're right. I do need to apologize to Miley. I need to apologize to you too. And Lindsay was like, don't even bother apologizing to Miley, because Miley doesn't even want us to be together. So when he heard that, Blaine was done. He was done. And I understand that maybe Blaine was thinking or hoping that he was bonding with Miley. This whole entire time, Molly ain't got no time for him. She doesn't have nothing for Blaine. So when Lindsay tells him Molly doesn't even want us together, Blaine was done. So he goes back, he starts packing up his stuff as if he's going to be leaving or moving out or something. And Lindsay was like, what did I do to make you treat me like this? And he says, because you ran off with a married man. I don't know what married man he's talking about. Is that the man who looked like a wasp, bit his upper lip? The guy that had that really swollen upper lip? Like, what married man is he talking about that she ran off with? I was very confused about that. Moving on from there, we have Louie and I don't got much to say about Lindsay and Blaine. I really don't. I don't have much to say about any of these people. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Lindsay, you need to break up with him. I don't know what else to say. You can't live with a man who feels this comfortable talking to your 13-year-old daughter about grown folks' business. This is just, it's not acceptable. There's no reason why he would do that he would feel comfortable doing that. Feel comfortable going into her room to have these conversations with her about her mom. Like, how do you talk to a child negatively about their mother? It's like you're trying to create. Lindsay and Miley's relationship is already very strained, okay, with Lindsay being absent from Miley's life for so many years. And Lindsay right now is trying so hard to build that bond back, to build that trust back with her daughter. And here comes Blaine talking crap about her mom. And luckily, Miley doesn't really care for Blaine, so she doesn't take anything he says seriously. But can you imagine if she did? Here she is with a very troubled relationship with her mom, and then her mom's own boyfriend, now fiance, is trying to cloud her judgment about her own mother. Like, this just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, this is not, and and I was kind of rooting for Blaine and Lindsay. I was kind of, there was a moment that I did actually like Blaine, but after finding out all of this, I'm looking at him real differently now, and I've lost all trust in Blaine, and I just don't think that what he did was appropriate at all. You just don't do that. There's no excuse for it. And he should know better as a grown man, because as much as he feels for his son, and it looks like he loves his son a lot, like, what if, and I understand that, his son is a whole lot younger than Miley. There's no way that Lindsay would ever confide in an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old about anything. But let's just say, for example, he was a little bit older, and she goes to his son and says, oh, your dad's your dad's a jerk, and your dad's horrible. He's manipulative. He wouldn't accept that. Nobody would. So why are you doing it to her? I feel like maybe he was trying to do that to get closer to Miley, to make her feel like, hey, I want to talk to you about something and I trust you, and so I want to confide in you. But this was extremely inappropriate. It could have gone so much worse. You know what I'm saying? It's just inappropriate. Okay, moving on to Louie and Melissa. So they go they were at the pizza parlor, right? Because Louis loves him a pizza parlor. They're at a pizza parlor where he used to work when he was living in New Jersey, and she tells him that she has to take a pregnancy test before her operation the next day for her nose. So they go get a pregnancy test. They go back to the hotel. The test is negative. I'm just going to save y'all the drama, because you know how it is whenever somebody takes a pregnancy test. They got to draw it out through 5 or 6 commercial breaks. All of this unnecessary drama. The girl ain't pregnant. So Melissa tells Louis that she really appreciates him coming to New York with her to support her. And she acknowledges that she has been a little bit rough with him, and that she's going to tone it down. She's going to be a lot more gentler, and that she's going to take off. She's not going to put so much pressure on him to do better and get a job and make a certain amount of money. She's going to lay off a whole lot and let him do his thing and support him. So he's obviously very appreciative of that. And she also acknowledges that, I understand it's hard for you to get a job right now because of your record. And so I just have to learn how to be patient. Louis in his confessional says, I know that she was only really pushing me and putting all this pressure on me because she wants me to do better. She knows that I can succeed. And so she just wants the best for me. No, Louis, that's not why she's putting that pressure on you. She's putting that pressure on you because she wants to keep up with the Joneses. She wants to keep up with her sisters. Maybe her sisters have men who are very hardworking and make a whole lot of money. She just wants to keep up with the Joneses. That's all that is. She doesn't want to be Melissa with the unemployed boyfriend or the unemployed husband or whatever the hell he is to her right now. She just wants to be able to, prove to the people or prove to the world that, hey, my man makes a lot of money and is taking care of me. That's all that was. It's just a flex. Moving on from there, it's time for surgery. So they're at the hospital. And, she's getting prepped for surgery. And of course, she doesn't have any makeup on. And y'all, Melissa looked so much better without the makeup, especially all the heavy eye makeup. She looked so young and so fresh. She did not look 40 years old. She looked really pretty with all that makeup on. She has a pretty face. And the fact that she wants to get her nose done is just, well, it is what it is. We haven't seen the nose yet, so probably it worked out for the better. But I never noticed her nose before. I never looked at her and was like, oh my God, why won't that woman get a nose job already? I never noticed her nose. But, it's for herself. It's not for me. It's not for Louis. It's for herself to make herself happy. So 3 hours later, the surgery is over with. Melissa is extremely cranky, and she makes Louis even crankier. So the day to take off the bandages comes around, and she goes to the doctor to take the bandages off, and she did not want Louis there with her. She said that Louis gets too excited. He gets too overly animated, and she doesn't want all of that around her when she sees her new nose for the very first time. I think she didn't want him around in case the nose didn't look good. And she didn't want to, be stressed with her boyfriend there and having to fake the funk if the nose did not look good or didn't look like it changed at all. And, he would have to fake his reaction. I think that's what it was. I think she wanted to brace herself first, alone, away from him. And, for her to kind of figure out how she felt about her nose to know how to present it to him, good or bad. So while she's getting her band-aids taken off, her bandages taken off, he's at the beach planning this, romantic nose reveal beach picnic for her. And of course, that's where their segment ends because we don't know what the nose looks like as of yet. I think Louis and Melissa are going to be okay. I think they're going to be fine. Louis seems really smitten by Melissa. He doesn't give me the vibes that he would ever cheat on her or anything like that. For whatever reason, which I have yet to understand, Louis is really into Melissa. I think he's more into her than she is into him because she's beginning to realize that this is Louis now. It's not Louis. It's not popular Louis from high school. This is unemployed ex-con Louis that she's trying to get used to. So he's really into her. So I feel like, as long as she's into him, they're going to be fine. Moving on to Shawn and Sarah. So Shawn and Sarah, when we see them, they're moving out of their rental and their landlord had raised the price significantly. So they need to find another place to live. So while she's packing up her bags, she's on some type of live. I don't know if it's Instagram live or TikTok live, but she's on some type of, I know it's not real. Obviously it's not like a real live, but they edit it to make it look like she's on a real live, and they have the viewer count like in the upper left hand corner, and it's showing that there's like 18,000 people in her live. I know that was for comic relief. Because I have seen some, our more popular reality TV stars on live, and I don't even think they can get 1,000 people in there. I've seen Soldier Boy Usman on live. I've seen Usman and Angela. I've seen Angela on live. I've seen a whole bunch of well-known trashy reality TV stars online, and they'd be lucky if they get 1,000 people in there. But Sarah had supposedly 18,000 people. Anyways, moving on. That was hilarious. So she's packing up, and she tells us that her stepdad fortunately has found them a place to live. So they arrive at the damn property of where they're going to be living at. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is not real. I kept on expecting them to show us like their real house. Okay, I don't know what this is right here, but where are they really going to live? Because what they showed us was a dilapidated piece of crap. It was just, it had no roof. The roof was completely burnt off. It had some type of a house fire. That the fire destroyed this house, like absolutely destroyed it. The roof is gone. The walls are barely there. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So they're going to have to like tear it all down completely and rebuild a brand new house. So her stepfather sold them this house plus 8 acres for $40,000, and they're going to be paying it at about $500 to $600 per month. In the meantime, they're going to be living on a trailer on this property. Shawn calls Kelly to let her know the what's up, to let her know, hey, look, we just bought this piece of property, so you're still not going to see any money from me. And we know that Shawn has not been sending her any money at all, because he's been using the money, his child support money, he's been using it for fixing his tow truck. But Sarah thinks he's been sending Kelly money, but Kelly hasn't seen a penny from Shawn. So he calls Kelly to let her know, hey, I'm still not going to be able to send you anything because we just bought this piece of property. Of course, Kelly gets upset. Like, what the hell? You've got kids over here. How could you buy a new house when you haven't even sent me anything for your children? I'm not interested. I don't give a damn. I really don't care. And I'm not going to act like I don't care about these people. I don't care if Kelly ever sees a red cent from Shawn ever again. I'm sick and tired of her, crying about this damn money. What do you think Shawn is, Kelly? Look, Kelly, let's have a discussion. Who do you think Shawn is? Do you think he's Bill Gates? Do you think he's Jeff Bezos or something? Who do you think Shawn is? Shawn to me has always looked destitute, struggling, pathetic. I don't see him as a provider, as a supporter of a damn thing. Like, who do you think the children of your father, the father of your children is? Like, Kelly, seriously, tell me, what is your idea of Shawn? What is your idea of Shawn? The fact that you are constantly chasing this man down for money for the past 3 years or however long he's been on my television set, I'm getting sick and tired of it. And Kelly, you should know by now that Shawn is not that. Whatever you think Shawn is not that. Shawn is not that. He would rather send money to some other inmate, for another potential inmate relationship before he sends you $5 to buy your kids a gallon of milk. So the fact that you get upset every time you don't get money from him just boggles my mind. The way that you act like so shocked and surprised that he's not sending you money. I mean, girl, y'all weren't married. I don't know if you're expecting alimony from this man, or I don't know what you think is going on. Y'all weren't married. Do you even have a child support? Look, girl, do you have a child support order on him? Because if he's not making payments, take him to court. Stop playing around on my TV and take this man to court and just be done with it all. Thank you so much for joining me, y'all. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video, and if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.